The first half.
Round of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Oldsmobile. Stop by your Oldsmobile dealer and see what's new from the new generation of Olds. Principal Financial Group, financial products that give you an edge. And by Kids, they feel good.
The Southeast region in Atlanta, Georgia. At halftime, Rutgers leading Arizona State 36-30. This is our second game this afternoon, with Arkansas having advanced with a win over Georgia State in game one. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler and Mimi Griffin. It's kind of a streaky game in the second one, Mimi, as Arizona State ran off early. They're the young guys, but the experience of Rutgers showed now for a 6-point halftime lead.
As you look at the stat sheet at halftime, Brad, a couple things jump out at you. Number one, Rutgers is leading in the rebounding edge by a considerable margin. You can see that. I think that's a function of just having bigger bodies in there crashing the boards on Rutgers' part.
They have 10 offensive rebounds, which has led to 10 second chance points, which has helped the cause. Now, how about Arizona State? What do they have to do to get back in this thing?
I think they've got to start hitting from the outside. They're not taking, their shot selection is not good. They're looking to pound it inside a little too much. You can see they weren't shooting well in the first half. It's because they were hesitant on those outside shots.
Remember, one of those three-pointers came from Stephen Smith right at the buzzer to make it a 6-point game. Our leading scorers, Hughes and Austin, with 10 and 9 respectively, as we are underway in the second half. Arizona State had a 6-point lead at one point in the first half early. Rutgers' largest lead has been 9.
Rutgers starting out in their man-to-man defense.
Austin backs in, and that's the way the Sun Devils wanted to start. He's got 11 points. And here's Hughes on the other end for Rutgers. Dabs picked it up, couldn't get it. Stephen Smith, the freshman, along with Wheeler, Faulkner, Fontana, and Austin, who's the guy they love to go to. That's Arizona State. Jones, Hughes, Dabbs, Smith, and Duncan out there for Rutgers. Nice ball movement by Arizona State on their second possession of this half. Austin.
And Arizona State able to get it into Austin much more effectively right now. One of the things I noticed about the Arizona State guards is when they catch the ball, they should be going into their shooting motion, be able to get the shots off. They're not. They're turning and looking to see what the opportunities are, and then it's too late.
That split second can mean so much. Hughes is going to take a three. 13 for Hughes.
That's what kills you about a player like Keith Hughes, is that he can take a three-point shot. He can bang it inside. If you're guarding him, you've got to be ready to go all over the floor.
Jamal Faulkner, that's just inside the three-point line.
And I would expect Jamal Faulkner to be much more vocal shooting-wise in this half.
Penetration by Duncan, lost the handle out of bounds. Austin's got 4 points this half, 13 for the game.
Come on, baby, come on.
And there's Alex Austin. That's Isaac's dad, and I don't think Isaac knew that Alex was going to show up, because we asked him yesterday. He's one of the biggest backers, of course, his son in this program. We said, is your dad going to make it? He says, I don't think so. So maybe this is a little bit of a surprise that dad's in the stands. Well, the kid has certainly taken things in control here early in the second half with 13 points. He's tied with Hughes to lead all scorers. One of the nice things about college basketball and the NCAA tournament, your dad can put on a cap that says Final Four, hoping the kid can make it there, huh?
It means a lot more than a game to a lot of these players.
Duncan jumper. Fontana kind of skipped it over to Smith. Smith knocks it away from Smith, and Arizona State will have it, trailing by 3. Don't forget, tonight, here's what's coming up. Georgetown and Vandy, inside against outside in that one. Ohio State and Towson State, North Carolina, #1 seed against Northeastern, and Alabama and Murray State, one of the games we'll have here in Atlanta. Three-pointer.
Brad, that's what I talked about. When the guards catch the ball, they should be turning it and getting into their shooting motion right away.
Tie game. First time since it was tied at 10 apiece. Brent Dabbs That's his first basket.
But I think Rutgers has to get into a team concept as opposed to this one-on-one basketball that we're seeing. Each of the players now, all of a sudden, there's no passing at all.
I think had they been a little more team-oriented in the first half, they might have been up double figures at halftime. As it was, only a 6-point halftime lead. They've seen it dissipate to a tie.
You know, another glaring statistic at halftime was that Earl Duncan at the point guard position had no assists.
And Dabbs, who just scored a moment ago, didn't have any points. Not helping each other very well. Smith is at a 3-point field goal attempt with a foul. It may be. He was right near it.
Coach Bob Wenzel, I think, sees the problems that are developing for his Rutgers team.
2 shots coming up. He was just inside the line when he let go of that. Bill Frieder, who's got all the young players that we talked about and a big smile on his face all the time. I'm thinking about what not only could come up tonight, but next year and years ahead.
A big smile.
Back in New York, let's get you out for the final seconds of Wisconsin, Green Bay, Michigan State.
15:45 to go in the ball game. Rutgers and Arizona State tied at 41 from the Southeast Regional at the Omni in Atlanta. Our second game of the day, and a tight one it is. And Austin of the Sun Devils has just given Arizona State its first lead since the first half.
Isaac Austin has been the difference in this second half for Arizona State. They've gotten the ball into him effectively, and he's gone strong to the basket.
Effective enough to be 4 for 4, maybe this half. Maybe he saw Dad up in the stands. Here's what's going on. Our game summary. Rutgers just not handling the ball well, Mimi.
Well, 3 of those 8 steals were off Earl Duncan, the point guard, because he's trying to push it and force the action, Brad. He's got to be more patient on offense and include the rest of his team.
The Rutgers offensive rebounds have led to some second chance points, but not much this half, like they had in the first half when they led 36-30 at the break. Our region in Atlanta, Arkansas has already advanced, routing Georgia State, though the Panthers gave them a game for a half. The winner of this one goes on to meet Arkansas. Then Alabama, Murray State, Louisiana Tech, Wake Forest tonight. That's what's coming up yet today.
The guards of Arizona State still have to do a better job of shooting from the outside.
They've gotten very little from the perimeter. Smith has a couple of threes. He's got his hands on it there. Faulkner's been quiet. And Dabbs a rebound. Faulkner, the freshman sensation, has 8 points, but he's been kept in check. Greg Carter, his first field goal of the game, and now we're tied at 43.
Jamal Faulkner from a high school that everybody knows about if you know anything about Prep High School, and that's Christ the King in New York City.
I saw Derek Phelps play a lot of guard backing up King Rice at North Carolina, and he is going to be a great one. Three-pointer.
And that's what we talked about. The guards of Arizona State have to shoot from the outside. And what they're doing is, as they're catching the ball now, Brad, they're doing a better job of getting into their shooting motion as they catch the ball.
So Wheeler and Smith each with a couple of threes now. And a blocking foul on Ike Austin, who felt he had position. That's his second. Tell you what, when he gets planted in the lane, you wouldn't think he'd be shuffling those feet too much. I wonder what Dad thinks of it. There's Alex,
well,
his
with
father.
That sly smile on your face, you wonder what he thinks about it. He's probably thinking, well, the other guy probably hurts worse than Isaac does right now.
Just a little bit of resemblance between the two, huh?
And this guy's not happy either. Bill Frieder wanted a walking call.
Dabbs. That's his second basket of this half, and it draws Rutgers back to within a point. Bill Frieder, his Arizona State team, the youth here in this ball game against the experience of Rutgers and a bunch of freshmen. This is only his second year at Arizona State and already in the NCAA. Exactly 2 years ago today, Frieder was forced to watch Michigan from the bleachers here at the Omni, as he was already on his way to Arizona State, made it known at a press conference that, hey, listen, I wasn't going to try to fool anybody, that I was going to move on. And, of course, Michigan went on to the national championship without Frieder, and would he love to get back there? And he didn't expect to even be in the NCAA tournament this quickly.
in just 2 years to having turned this Arizona State program around. That's nothing short of a miracle. He looked at Lute Olson in Arizona, and their theme was, it can happen here.
Smith with the steal and a nice drive for the score.
Brad, that's a real dangerous foul right there with player running underneath Brent Dabbs.
Dangerous in that Faulkner's got 3 now also.
And you can see Fontana here going after the ball, but look at how he gets under and takes his legs out from under him. Now, he did go after the ball, so it can't be an intentional foul. He was trying to block the shot. Here's another angle on that with Dabbs handling the ball and then getting his legs cut out from under him.
Fontana with his 3rd foul. Excuse me, I said Faulkner. Smith with a chance for the 3-point play. Junior out of Washington, D.C. 8 points, 5 rebounds on the day. Make it 9 points. After Arizona State got in front by 3, Rutgers has come back to lead by 2 with 12:40 now remaining in the ballgame. Wheeler, 3-pointer. Collins kept it alive. Collins is not a big offensive threat. I don't know if he's shot yet in the game. Anderson can score outside, though. 3-pointer for Anderson.
Matt Anderson is a Mormon, took a 2-year mission, church-related mission, and is 24 years old.
And there's a 3-point answer from Earl Duncan. And now both teams starting to light it up a little from the outside. Rutgers by 2.
This tempo right now favors Rutgers, Brad. They're much better in transition, and an up-tempo game favors Rutgers.
Wheeler tried to leave it for Faulkner, got it right back in his own hands. And a whistle and a foul in the paint. It's going to go on Austin. Isaac Austin will pick up his 3rd. 11:47 to play in the ball game. Rutgers by 2. The Sun Devils have traveled almost 1,600 miles to Atlanta, Georgia, to the Southeast region, where the number 8 and number 9 seeds matched up, and it's been that close. 51-49. Rutgers in front by a couple with the ball in red. They led by 6 at halftime.
Rutgers passing the ball much better in this series.
Hughes has 15. St. Peter's now trailing Texas by 11 as the Longhorns stretch it out a little bit on the Peacock.
Texas is another one of those transition teams that scores in spurts. Just have to have your patience and hope the spurt ends.
Collins with his drive. That is his first basket of the afternoon. 53-51 Rutgers. Strong rebound underneath, still no basket. And Wheeler got his hands on it, but dribbled on the baseline.
Brad, there is such a difference in this Rutgers team when they pass the ball and when they try to do it all themselves. In this series, it was one-on-one basketball again, and they're just not effective against this Arizona State team. In the last possession, they passed the ball, got a nice shot for Keith Hughes.
Fontana comes back in. Matt Anderson sits down, as does Terrence Wheeler. So Smith and Fontana, the 2 freshmen, in there along with Collins, Austin, and Faulkner. And in low, foul on Arizona State. Trying to handle Hughes, and he is a load to handle.
Foul is on Arizona State's Wayne.
Fontana's got 4 fouls now.
Personal, 14.
So Bill Frieder's going to have to go right back to his bench. As Fontana, number 31, right there, is going to have to sit. Wasn't a long breather for Matt Anderson. I don't think he had time to sit down over there before he had to check back in.
The good thing about Matt Anderson in this game is that he is a perimeter scorer. He's a great 3-point shooter, and they're going to need him in the stretch.
Keith Hughes, who came into this one with 1,236 career points, has tacked 15, now 16 onto that total.
Hughes is a local boy, New Jersey boy from Carteret, New Jersey. Never even gave Rutgers a look coming out of high school, Brad, because at the time, Rutgers' program just wasn't where it is today.
Got both free throws. On his way to one of those games that would match his average. 21 a game is what he averages. Rutgers by 4.
Rutgers has tightened up their man-to-man defense, preventing the perimeter shot right now.
Anderson with the turnover, trying the entry pass. Duncan, the 3. Duncan has 3 trays on the day. Tonight on CBS, Georgetown and Vandy square off. Ohio State, Townsend State, you see the rest of the lineup. Here, it's a 7-point Rutgers lead. Jamal Faulkner, the freshman, with 4 fouls, back in there, Mimi.
Only 8 points so far in this game, well below his 15 average, Brad, and I think maybe guarding Keith Hughes has taken him a little bit out of his offense.
That would take a lot of people out of it. Hughes, on the other hand, responded with 17 points and 7 rebounds. Again, it's the youth and experience, and here they are matched up, and Hughes forced the turnover on Faulkner.
Bill Frieder told us that Faulkner would be the guy, the go-to guy in a clutch situation, but you got to wonder now if he's not in his offense, if that's going to be the case at the end.
2 field goals in the last 8:21. No points in the last 5 minutes, and they trail by 7 at the halfway point of the second half. And Dabbs has started to take a little more offensive production for Rutgers.
What's happened is Rutgers has stuck with this man-to-man defense, yet they've gotten closer. They don't slack off as much on the weak side. They're preventing the perimeter shots for Arizona State.
Austin mishandled it, another turnover. And again, we see what we saw in the first half. Arizona State not getting any shots off. That's a turnover as well. They got their hands on it and stepped on the baseline.
Faulkner had a nice block, but the bad sign for Arizona State is you can't let Rutgers get into this up-tempo game. They can't run back and forth like that. They'll get a run and get a number of points on them if they do. Anderson
sits, and Terrence Wheeler comes back in. What a swipe that was by Smith. Took it right away from Duncan. Duncan's lost it 3 times today on turnover. And a foul. Darrell Smith will pick up his 3rd. A 9-point deficit, maybe, with 9:22 to go. Arizona State, it seems like just a couple of minutes ago they had a 3-point lead, but that's all gone away. What's Bill Frieder do to get him back in it?
A couple things. If Rutgers stays in this man-to-man defense and it's as close as it's been, you got to start using one another. Use the pick and rolls, use the backdoor cuts, things like that. Right now they're trying to do it individually, and you can't when you've got this tough a defense on you.
This guy's not a bad choice, but they double down on him. That's Austin. Out to Wheeler.
See, Brad, you're not going to make one-on-one moves. You got to get somebody to set a pick for you to get you open.
Wheeler's 3 is starting to work. 3 in a row this half. Makes it a 6-point game. Not a good shot on the other end by Craig Carter. Collins with a great reverse move, but he missed the shot. He had some great hang time, but not a lot of chance on that shot. Texas continues to lead St. Peter's by 9.
One of the things that Arizona State has to do is stop them. They can't trade buckets with this Rutgers club. They've got to get back and close quickly.
And it'll be Arizona State ball with 8:16 to go. They trail by only 6. Collins looks to Bill Frieder on the bench to call the play. It will probably involve Isaac Austin. Nope, it's going to be Wheeler. Wheeler's got it working. Let him shoot it.
We talked about it earlier. The guards have to take control with the perimeter shooting, and they've done it.
A game that moments ago was a 9-point Rutgers lead has been down to 3 by the long-range shooting of Terrence Wheeler. got it up high, and Smith the rebound. Three-point shooting is warming up for Arizona State. They had only 2 at halftime.
And that's a big difference. If this Rutgers team is going to shut down the inside, bring it out.
Are you kidding me? Austin just buried one to make it a 1-point game.
The referees are talking to the players. They've been talking trash the entire game, and there's a lot of retaliation going on with some shoving.
Lynn Collins out of Peoria, Illinois, and Earl Duncan out of Los Angeles doing a little jabbering at each other, and the official wisely steps in to try to rectify that before it becomes a problem.
Bill Frieder told us that Collins had the shortest fuse on this team, so it doesn't surprise me that Duncan and Collins would go at it.
Here they are, one-on-one, and I think Collins won that because Duncan forced a bad shot. Arizona State with a chance to lead. And Collins walked with it. He was heading to the hoop the whole way, too. So both guards, I think, lost their cool a little bit. Now we have a technical foul. I think Duncan just got hit with a tee. Somebody did.
And they continue to talk to one another, Collins and Duncan.
The officials tried to ward that problem off, but Duncan wouldn't let it die. 7:10 to go. Rutgers by 1.
To Atlanta, Rutgers, Arizona State. Here's Brad Nessler and Mimi Griffin.
Terrence Wheeler has just hit 2 technical foul shots to put Arizona State back in front, 61-60, because of Earl Duncan's technical foul a couple of moments ago. And with 7 minutes to play, Arizona State back in front. This is a 10-0 Arizona State run, and they've got the ball.
Smith wisely setting up the offense. They know that every possession counts right now. And they've got to keep the momentum in their court.
Austin, nice hook pass to Fontana. Fontana's first basket of this half. And Arizona State has matched its largest lead of this half. Arizona State on fire when they need it.
I really think Rutgers' problems stem from their one-on-one play. Instead of passing the ball and getting a good shot, they're all trying to do it themselves.
Dabbs for 3. Nice timing for Brent Dabbs.
It's not often your 6'10" center comes out to the top of the key.
6th tie of the game. We're at 63 near the 6-minute mark. Faulkner with 4 fouls. Still matched up against Hughes. Austin and Dabbs really working inside. Austin backs in.
Great move by Austin. He had Keith Hughes coming up from the weak side to help out, but went strong.
Smith had it stripped by Wheeler. Fontana may have gotten away with a walk. Austin tips it in.
Fontana got away with the walk and took a bad shot, but Austin was right there to redeem him.
Austin with 21. Arizona State with its largest lead of this half. In fact, the 6-point lead they had in the first half was very early. How about Dabbs? Brent Dabbs at 6'10" has hit back-to-back threes. And it's a 1-point game. Dabbs has all 12 of his points this half. St. Peter's still hanging in, but trailing by 8 to the Longhorns. We'll keep you posted on that one. Here it's Arizona State by 1. 5 minutes to play. Terrence Wheeler, nice drive and a chance for a 3-point play.
Terrence Wheeler went right into the face of Earl Duncan after he made that shot and gave him a piece of his mind. You can see the nice penetration dribble here by Wheeler. They're really taking it to him. You know, in a game like this, Brad, composure is so important, and Arizona State is the younger team, yet they're showing the greater composure right now.
And this guy, Terrence Wheeler, who you're about to see at the line, 20 points, 16 in this half. Is he feeling it this half or what? He completes the 3-point play, and it's a 4-point Arizona State lead.
Terrence Wheeler is a senior. He knows what he has to do.
Here's Smith on Duncan at the point. Duncan got the shooter's roll. 2-point game. The Sun Devils in white by 2. Here's the man for Arizona State. Had it blocked by Hughes.
Tremendous timing by Keith Hughes coming from the weak side. Isaac Austin takes his time to set himself up. You can see here he takes an extra second, and that gives Keith Hughes the opportunity to come from nowhere.
First miss of the half for Austin, who's got 23 points. Smith on the baseline will trigger it.
Referee just taking some time to get some debris off the floor.
Here's Wheeler on top. Wheeler's been the great outside threat this half for the Sun Devils. UCLA's been upset by Penn State. The Bruins fall to the Nittany Lions. And with just over 4 minutes to go, Arizona State by 2 over Rutgers. Wheeler way outside. Rutgers now with a chance to tie. From the Omni in Atlanta, a 2-point game with 3:41 to play. Arizona State down 6 points at halftime, has rallied back and have led by 4 on a couple of occasions over Rutgers Scarlet Knights in this half. And now as Bob Wenzel looks on, he hopes that his team can draw even here, Mimi.
Brad, the difference in this second half has been composure. You would think that Rutgers, being the older, more experienced team, would keep their composure, but they haven't. It's been the younger Arizona State team. Earl Duncan, in particular for Rutgers, really lost his composure, was talking trash a little bit, got a technical foul called on him, and it really shifted the momentum.
Duncan got the tee. We're going to get a look at it here.
And we talked about talking trash. Here's a prime example of it. You can see he's not even trying to defend. He's just trying to get in his ear.
Meanwhile, the steadying force has been senior Keith Hughes, who buries both free throws, 19 points, another tie. Our 4th of the half, our 7th of the game, and we're deadlocked at 70. Terrence Wheeler, 4 3-pointers this half and a 3-point play on a drive. He's number 32 in white for Arizona State. He would be the guy, or Austin, their big fella inside, but the Sun Devils want to handle it here. There's the feed to Austin, and he got it.
Arizona State's showing so much composure to be able to run the shot clock down like that and get the ball into Austin. The other thing that they've done very well in this second half is they've gotten their perimeter players the shots.
And a push on Stephen Smith, trying to defend Duncan. Our game summary to this point with 2:49 to play. Arizona State has been on fire from the field in the second half. And though Rutgers has had the rebounding edge, they've stayed in it thanks to the outside shooting.
Absolutely. It's youth versus experience. And right now it's the youth that's winning. They've kept their composure. We talked about the perimeter getting their shots. It's another thing to make them. And that's what they've been doing in the second half. And that's the difference.
We approach 2.5 minutes in this one. Round 1, game 2 here in the Southeast region in Atlanta. Dabbs. He's hit a couple of threes. Can't get that one, but Hughes follows it off the glass.
The other thing that Arizona State has done very well with this Rutgers team is force them into a half-court game. And that's not the game they like to play.
And a turnover. An untimely one for Arizona State. Whoever survives what is now a 72-72 tie advances to meet Arkansas. Later, Alabama and Murray State, Wake Forest and Louisiana Tech. But with 2:17 to go, we're deadlocked at 72. Eight ties in this ball game, 5 this half, and with 2:17 to go from the Omni, deadlocked at 72. The game, as you look at it, the timeouts remaining. Each team with a foul to give, and Rutgers with a basketball. Who does Rutgers want to handle it here, Mimi?
In the clutch, you got to give it to Keith Hughes. Or Earl Duncan as he makes the spinning move. I was going to make the point that Earl Duncan has been a little bit frustrated offensively. And yet, when in the clutch, he was able to make that shot. Now, for Arizona State, Bill Freer told us that Faulkner would be the guy in the clutch, but I think in this kind of game, the way it's unfolded, Austin, underneath is the guy who needs the ball in his hands.
Ike's got 25 points. He's the big fella right now at the top of the key, trying to work his way down low against Daz.
If they can't get a shot inside, look for Terrence Wheeler, who has the ball right now to take it outside.
There's the three.
He has been hot this second half.
His 5th three of this half. And a 1-point Arizona State lead.
Brad, I don't care what the coaches tell you. In a situation like this, you got to go to your senior talent.
There's the senior Hughes, who couldn't get it, and another senior Austin with a rebound. Jump ball, possession arrow will be in Rutgers' favor. There's the three-point shooting, as Arizona State had only 2 3-pointers. One of them came at the buzzer to end the first half. They have 6 this half. Wheeler has 5 of them.
We made the point that that would be critical to Arizona State winning this game, and it has been so far.
They might still need it. It is right now a 1-point difference. Hughes trying to give Rutgers the lead. Smith with a gigantic rebound. Arizona State by 1. They've got the ball. And the shot clock and game clock are virtually even.
Bob Wenzel telling his team to come out on him, get on him. Got to create a steal.
I don't think there's more than like a 1/10 of a second, maybe, Mimi, in the difference between the game clock and the shot clock, and a foul on Jones.
Foul is on Mike Jones of Rutgers. That's his 4th personal.
Texas by 7. St. Peter's hanging tough. We're going to hope to bring you the conclusion of that Midwest first-round game, as well as what you are seeing here at the Omni in Atlanta, which at this point has Arizona State in front by 1 with 30.8 seconds left, and that is what's left on the game clock. I thought there was about a 1/10 of a second difference. They shut the 45-second clock down. That's game clock remaining.
Steven Smith is actually not a bad player to foul. He's shooting 65% from the line. Terrence Wheeler, on the other hand, the other guard, is 75%.
Smith had missed his last 2 free throws before burying that one. Now it's a 2-point game.
I think it's important to note that he's a freshman.
A freshman drops them both home. 30.8 seconds to go. Arizona State by 3. .8 seconds left at the Omni in Atlanta. Arizona State clinging to a 3-point lead. The other New Jersey team with 1:04 to go still has an outside shot at the Longhorns. We're going to try to bring you the end of that one, too, in the Midwest round 1. Mimi, who's going to take the 3-pointer if that's what Rutgers decides to do?
Brad, there's 2 different questions. Who's going to take it and who's going to make it? You can see from the three-point shooting percentages who can shoot it, but Duncan, I guarantee, is going to take it.
He's 3 for 4 today from outside the arc. There it goes. And he was fouled. Now inside, just inside the line. It's a 2-point shot. 2 free throws coming up for Duncan.
That's his 2nd personal.
Smith, the man that fouled him. Arizona State, the youthful Sun Devils. Can they hold on and beat the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, who have the age and experience? The winner goes on to play Arkansas. Duncan hasn't missed a free throw today, 4 straight. Now the strategy comes in with 21.5 seconds to go. Down by 2.
If Rutgers has to foul in this situation, the guard to foul is Steven Smith, but he is not in the game anymore. Yes, he is. Collins and Wheeler are both better free throw shooters than Smith.
Let's see who they foul. Wheeler got 3. He's going to eat some clock for one thing, and finally they found Taylor Wheeler, and it's an intentional foul on Hughes. 2 shots coming up.
And it should be an intentional, Brad, because he made no attempt at the ball. He grabbed his waist. You got to know the rules in this situation.
What a major difference that could make.
You can see that Keith Hughes had no intention of going after that ball. He just wanted the foul, and that's why the intentional foul situation was put in, an automatic 2 shots.
You see the Arizona State bench come up with the cross arms as if to say intentional foul. They got the call immediately. And with 15.8 seconds to go, 2 shots coming up for Terrence Wheeler, a 76% free throw shooter, who's perfect from the line today, 3 for 3. So Wheeler at the line with the intentional foul to shoot a couple. And that one hurts Arizona State. This one can put them up 2. Got the second. It is 78-76 with under 16 seconds to play. And now a 2-pointer.
That intentional foul call is so critical because you get the ball as well as the 2 shots.
And this is going to be a big call. Who's got the basketball? Arizona State ball. Now they need to inbound with 14.7 seconds left. Faulkner will do the honors with Hughes on him defensively. Smart move, timeout, the final one for Arizona State. They lead by 2.
Watching Rutgers, Arizona State. Here's a look at St. Peter's, Texas, and Mike Texas with the lead late in the game. Just 23 seconds left.
Inbounding the ball up 7, 23 seconds left. They're parading to the foul line down there, but Texas is in control. Will win the ball game.
All right, we are going to send you back to Atlanta. Now Rutgers and Arizona State.
A 2-point lead, under 15 seconds to go. All they need to do is inbound it, and then they'll probably be going to the free throw line as the foul committed dabs on Austin. And Isaac Austin will go to the free throw line where he is 3 out of 4 on the day.
Ike Austin is the worst free throw shooter on the floor right now for Arizona State, so it was the smart person to foul.
That's his third.
One would make it a situation where Rutgers would have to hit a 3. And if, as Alex Austin looks on, if his baby boy, if you want to call 6'10", and about 275 pounds, if he hits both free throws, this one will go to Arizona State.
I'll bet he is glad he made the trip, though, Brad.
You know it. I'm glad we're here. Missed it. And Rutgers with a chance to win. Under 10. Duncan's been hot from 3-point range. They only need 2 to tie to send it to overtime. And now we've got 2.5 seconds left.
And you can see the drive here by Carter. Carter takes the ball in strong.
And timeout Rutgers, their last one. They trail by 2. 2.5 seconds to go, Mimi Griffin. Arizona State by 2. Who does Rutgers go to?
Ball has to get into Keith Hughes' hands for the shot, Brad.
Hughes with 21 points. If there's ever a play here with an inbounds pass, it's got to be now. But Arizona State with a steal. And Faulkner came up with the play of the day. Here's a look.
You can see the pass coming inbounds, and Carter tried to get the ball, and there's Faulkner getting the ball, the freshman, making the play of the day.
We said at the beginning of the game, the matchup was Faulkner, a freshman, Hughes, a senior. Well, Hughes, it appears, is playing his final game with 21 points and a load of rebounds, and at the other end, a kid that's got a lot of basketball left at Arizona State, Jamal Faulkner at the free throw line with 0.7 seconds left in the ball game.
We saw the steal from that angle, but look at the reaction from this angle on the bench, and someone's hit the deck.
If Faulkner hits this, it'll take a miracle 3 for Rutgers to tie. That's what they're going to have. There's the long lob. Hughes will try to touch it in. No basket. Arizona State from the Pac-10 advances. Trailing by 6 at halftime, they come back to win by 3. A seesaw battle between the Scarlet Knights and the Sun Devils. And Arizona State wins it by 3, 79-76. And they advance now in the Southeast region as they'll take on Arkansas in the next round. This is the one that made sure Arizona State would survive a Rutgers rally. And as Hughes tried to get it off, too late for the senior who had a brilliant game for the Scarlet Knights. And our Chevrolet most valuable players in this one, Keith Hughes of Rutgers, 21 points. And Ike Austin, who's got another game to play, finished with 25. For Mimi Griffin, I'm Brad Nessler. What a game we had. And Arizona State a winner over Rutgers, 79-76. Let's go to Andrea Joyce in New York.
All right, Brad, thanks. Mike, are you surprised as an Arizona State team, young and no tournament experience, but quite composed?
Big win for Bill Frieda. They came back and played well, shot well in the second half. Tough loss for Rutgers, and Rutgers' decision-making on the floor and on the bench down the stretch left a lot to be decided. Did not handle the game situations late very well.
Okay, let's update you on one other